5 seconds. Get ready. Start. Pupils, scholars, and legal practitioners are still unpacking the judgment. The issue before the court was whether and how electricity transmission lines can be built through the habitat of the critically endangered Great Indian bustard. The government claimed that a previous court order protecting the bird's habitat had affected the country's renewable energy potential. Modifying this order, the court prioritized transmission infrastructure to enable accelerated development of renewable energy to address climate change. But the more seismic aspect of the judgment was the newly minted climate right, rooted in the constitutionally guaranteed right to life and right to equality. Reading this right into the Constitution potentially opens the door to climate litigation, empowering citizens to demand from the government that this right be protected. But the judgment also leaves unresolved questions. Does the court overstate the large-scale clean energy agenda as the main pathway to avoiding climate harms and correspondingly understate climate adaptation and local environmental resilience? Just how will this right against the adverse effects of climate change can be protected, and what might it mean for the agenda of the newly formed government? One way forward is the slow accumulation of judicial decisions around this right, but another is new legislation to actively realize a right against the adverse effects of climate change. The former approach, the proliferation of court-based action through enhanced litigation around climate claims, will likely lead slowly and over time to an incomplete patchwork of judiciary protections. As with many other well-meaning judicial orders directing the protection of fundamental rights, realizing climate rights could become contingent on the passage of several subsequent policy actions. Moreover, a patchwork approach is less likely to chart an overarching framework to guide future policy. Is the latter approach, climate legislation, then a preferred approach to protect climate rights? The judgment itself states that there is no umbrella legislation in India that relates to climate change, and in doing so, it seems to implicitly recognize the merits of overall framework legislation. Drawing from the experience of other countries, framework legislation can bring several advantages. It can set the vision for engaging with climate change across sectors and regions, create necessary institutions and endow them with powers, and put in place processes for structured and deliberative governance in anticipation of and reaction to climate change. These are important advantages and good reasons for India to consider climate legislation, but at the same time, it is essential that Indian climate legislation not blindly copy other countries and is tailored to Indian context. Stop. Thank you.